Today I want to share with you a tool which is gonna be very, tremendous for senior UXers or someone who's, let's say, kind of aiming for the leadership position or needs to more change manage than actually produce the experiences. But also for junior designers who are growing and who need to become a bit more strategic. And I'm talking about QB. So what is QB? If you have a slide, let's say in your deck, which you use to communicate to, new stakeholders what UX is about, or you need to sell what UX is about, or you need to show it on your portfolio and say, this is what I can do, you could use QB. You don't have to just use double diamond or something along those lines. We'll show the process of taking idea to a solution. This shows the breadth. QB actually stands for content, user goals, business goals, interactions. Between the content and user goals, you're going to have reactions. Between the content and business goals, you have communications. Between interactions and business goals, you're going to have transactions. And user goals and interactions would make actions. I hope that's self-explanatory because in the middle of it, you will have UX. We would address the content, we would need to address the actual architecture. If we would to address interactions, we would need to look at the human needs. If we would think about the outcomes, we would need to start with the user goals. If we want to care about the mission, obviously the business side, then we need to care about the business goals. And a lot of those layers lead into those things. So if I would take something like the user goals, naturally you're going to start with the user types. See exactly where the segments are, like what are the customer segments, what are their needs, what are their motivations, what are their behaviors. If we would take something on the opposite side, the business goals, and you want to drive towards the mission, like what are the operations like? What are the offerings? Like what are the products or services you're giving? What are the actual outcomes we want? And then link that into the mission. Same applies for the content. And in UX, content gets least attention, or maybe it's less structured or less strategic than anything else. But the types of content, the models of it, the treatments and how you actually do it, the methods of how you bring it to life, so that the architecture and the content actually drives the user behaviors you want to happen. And interactions, patterns, systems, devices, and the human at the base of it, and what do they actually do? That all of that kind of combines into the QB. You have the user-generated things. If let's say you want to link user goals and architecture of the content, you can have a business-generated content. You can have goals to inform the interaction and things of that nature. So it all links up together and creates this landscape of the methods. And of course, what you see around it, you can take a screenshot, you can pause this video, you can Google for it because there is a lot of variants of it online. But ultimately, then you can actually see exactly what you need to do. So you as a user of this tool, or you as a UXer, let's say a senior UXer or a junior, you can take it to communicate exactly what is the expanse of the UX and what do you actually do, because each and everything in those different lines is what we try to do in terms of the specific expertise or activities we try to coin. But we do it because we, one, need to coin architecture, two, define the outcomes and achieve them, three, link them to the mission, let's say, and four, actually create human-centric experiences so they are meaningful. And that's how I used it in the past. I used this as one of the slides to introduce to the people that, hey, UX is a bit more than UI design. Of course, UI design is all you see as a stakeholder, and maybe you don't want to care much about it. But hey, let me bring you on a journey, because it's much more complicated. And to do it right, we need to be considerate of so many different things and think holistically. And this is what it represents. So that's how you can use it. And there you have it. If you like this video, smash that like button, leave a comments down below if you have any questions. And of course, on that note, I'll see you next time.